I learned so much of the wrong stuff that in today's job market, if I was myself trying to learn online, then I competed with a course career student in the interview process. I mean, I probably wouldn't even get the interview to begin with, but let's say I did. It's like, I'm not going to stand up. I'm not going to have a chance.
What's up, guys? We have Troy here from CourseCareers. He's going to run it down and give y'all the A, B, and C, the 1, 2s, and 3 on CourseCareers, where it's going, how you can get in, where you fit in. So stay tuned and watch this whole video. You got something to say?
You said it all.
All
That's
right,
it.
let's go.
All right, we're live. Hey, Troy, what's going on, man? How you been?
Hey, Lee, doing well. How about yourself?
No, we're doing good, man.
Hi,
you
hello.
know, it's funny when we first kind of saw you, we were like, okay, you know what, we got to interview this guy one day because we saw you in the interview with Justin and Atia. That kind of what encouraged us to do CourseCareers as well. Awesome. So, you know, we've been seeing a lot of you everywhere, and we kind of want to kind of have you on the channel for our audience because they've been asking a lot of questions about CourseCareers.
Right.
And, you know, we figured who better to answer the questions than the person who actually created CourseCareers.
Right.
For sure.
So, yeah, if you don't mind telling people a little bit about your background, you know, why tech sales, and you know, how you kind of got involved in this.
Yeah, my background is I started my career in technology sales, aka sales development, at just 18 years old. By the age of 19, I got promoted to an enterprise account executive. I was bringing home 5-figure commission checks. So if you can imagine a 19-year-old with no bring home, like, in my bank account, like 5 figures were being deposited from like one sale. It's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So I was able to save up some money, and really my life's mission has been what I like to call unlocking human potential. So for so long, so many careers have been locked away to a select group of people who are willing and able to go to college, spend 4 years and all that money and go into debt to access these careers. But in our modern economy, with online education and jobs being so specialized, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I really question the value of college. So ever since I was 16, I really set my mind on providing an alternative to the college system. And then that was able to come to fruition at the age of 19 when I was able to quit my job to start working on CourseCareers full time with absolutely no success.
We've been there.
Definitely.
Yeah, many years went by because I'm 24 years old now. And CourseCareers has really only been blowing up in a little over the past year. So if you can imagine, for all of those years, I was just grinding away, making no progress, had 2 girlfriends break up with me. So
they're like, man, nah, man, you can't afford to pay. You can't take us on dates. You can't take us on a date.
Exactly. Yeah, that money was staying in the bank account. I mean, I was going as far as like when COVID hit, it was so exciting for me because you'd make like $150 donating plasma. So I was like donating plasma twice a week, reinvesting all that money into ads for CourseCareers.
Dude, listen, you're speaking to my soul, man. That was my college experience, actually. We both actually went to college, and now
and we still have our loans.
We still have those loans now, right? And it's funny because it's like if I had known, you know, like growing up, it was always like, you know, go to college. Like my family was there. Like I was the first generation. My wife was first generation. Yeah. And like everyone always told us, you gotta go to school.
You gotta go to college.
That's the only way. And then, you know, I questioned it because I got out of college, getting into the job I got hired for was less loans than what I was would get paid a year. So it's like, man, there has to be a different way. So, you know, I definitely understand that from there. But like, I guess, so that connects. So you went to doing tech sales, like, but then you decided, you know what, I don't want to do that role anymore. You actually want to go and train other people. Was the tech sales course the first course?
Yeah. So tech sales was, my background. And it's a really good entry point because colleges don't teach people tech sales, right? But there's hundreds of thousands of positions and companies that struggle to hire for it. So the status quo for the position that companies currently set was, okay, we'll just hire recent college graduates as sales development reps, right? People that don't know anything about the role, probably don't even want to do it. Like that's like sales is on the back burner for them. They graduate college, like, okay, I want to go, this is my dream job. I want to go. They can't land it. So they're like, okay, let's just see what job I can get. And then sales development was one of those, right? So the bar was so low where, when I was 18, my hypothesis was, well, if I could just learn exactly how to do the job through all this online education, then I would set myself apart from everyone else who has no idea what the role is or how to do it. And they would choose me, even this 18-year-old unproven person with no college degree, over a college graduate for this position, only because I had that specialized education that I hypothesized they would really value. Hypothesis worked. I mean, companies, they really love it if you know exactly what the job is, how to do it, and show a desire to do it. So that was the hypothesis that I used to start CourseCareers and ultimately help people do the same thing that I did for technology sales. And it just works out extremely well because the status quo is, I mean, the bar right now, or was really low for like any recent graduate could land an SDR position. Right now, not so much because you're competing with CourseCareers students. So it's like CourseCareers is the new bar now.
Yeah, that's actually the thing now. Like we're seeing, so like with that, then do you still think it's a good time to try to go into tech sales to being so much competition?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I just talked with Ben, who was the janitor. So he was a 24-year-old college dropout working as a middle school janitor for past like I believe 3 years. And I was like, okay, let's hear an update on your life since you've been working in tech sales. So he's since transitioned to an account executive. He said he interviewed in total with 12 companies, right? 12 different companies he interviewed with. He got 12 job offers for account executive positions, tech sales positions, SDR positions. And this is a guy with the worst possible background, right? He lives in Indiana, doesn't have a degree, has a background working as a janitor. He interviewed 12 tech companies, got 12 job offers. I mean, just think about that. Like
that's incredible. I absolutely love what you're doing with CourseCareers. Like I'm going through the application and the application and the interviewing process myself. And I just wanted to know like who is CourseCareers for and who isn't it for? Because there are some skills within the job description that you kind of gotta be willing to embrace and learn to really excel. And there's some people who may not want to do that, like their why may not be big enough. So who is it for and who isn't it for?
Yeah, so when we started out supporting only tech sales, CourseCareers was only for people who actually wanted to do the role of tech sales, have those foundational communication skills, grit, work ethic. But now since we support multiple careers, tech sales, IT support, digital marketing, and very soon, many, many more careers to come. It's really for anyone that wants to start their first, like a new career or their first career. So any background works. I mean, we have people that are 18 years old. We have people in their 50s, and everyone's finding success with CourseCareers. So anyone who wants to start a new high-paying career path, CourseCareers is probably the best bet for you.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I know it's like all those roles are like entry-level roles. So do you focus on entry-level roles for CourseCareers?
Yeah, I refuse to support any careers that aren't entry level. So CourseCareers is the single platform you can trust where we're only going to support roles that you can actually land. So for example, everyone asked me like, why aren't you supporting sales engineering? I'm like, sales engineering is pretty challenging to land that role.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
So if you're 18 years old coming from working at McDonald's, no matter how much education we try to provide you, you're probably not going to stand up against the competition of people who have software development experience or account executive experience. So we're only focusing careers that people can actually reliably land. So IT support is an entry-level career. Digital marketing is an entry-level career. Tech sales is an entry-level career. So all these careers, people can reliably learn online, interview with companies, and secure job offers. And then ultimately, that's going to lead you to some really high-paying promotions. So the next promotion above an SDR is an account executive. I just talked with one of our other students who's 21 years old. He's only been at his current company, Point Click Care Healthcare, a very large healthcare tech company that we're partnered with. They hired him on, started him at $70K a year. He's 350% of quota.
Wow,
21 years old, 350% of quota at this huge healthcare technology company. And his manager is already in the works of getting him promoted to an account executive. That's going to double his salary to $140,000 at the age of 21. So,
wow.
That's nice.
I wish I had that back then, man.
So, Troy, we have had a couple comments. There's always going to be someone throwing some jabs and negative things about CourseCareers. We're students of CourseCareers, so obviously we support it. So, what do you say to someone who says, "Oh, you can get that course free from X, Y, and Z"? Why is it important for a course, in a sense, to be in one place with a credible source?
Yeah, I mean, my personal experience, I started my career without this course, right? Because that didn't exist at the time. I was reading books, I was watching YouTube videos. So I did the self-learning, and I can tell you that it's difficult. I learned so much of the wrong stuff that in today's job market, if I was myself trying to learn online, then I competed with a CourseCareer student in the interview process. I mean, I probably wouldn't even get the interview to begin with, but let's say I did. It's like, I'm not going to stand up. I'm not going to have a chance. Because it's like they learn things that I could never learn online. I could never figure out how to organize it correctly, never have the support network. And let's say, even if I did stand up and outcompete a CourseCareer student in the interview process with the company, I mean, I probably spent months into trying to put that stuff together, months interviewing with companies. And the ROI in CourseCareers is 2 days. So that means if it takes you an extra 2 days to land the position, you're actually losing money from self-education. That's a really easy way to think about it. It's like,
it is opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost. It's going to take you many months extra to try to compete with one centralized place, a company that teaches you exactly what companies are looking for, how to interview, has a support network, even partners with companies that can request to interview our students. So many students have been landing jobs. They don't even apply to a single company. Then they get hit up by our partner company saying, hey, let's set up an interview, and they interview with them and get a job offer. So it's like, it's incredible amounts of value, especially for the price and a 2-day investment.
So it sounds like you're saying it really closes the learning gap, the learning curve, or the time it takes to kind of learn the job to be able to compete with all these other candidates.
Exactly. Yeah, we make it so you can outcompete the college graduate. Like when I was 18, I had no guidance, right? I was in it alone. So like everything I wish I had, I built CourseCareers to be. So it's like I try to build the perfect solution, and we're continuously improving it every single day. So we're trying to throw live events. So Trent is working with getting people like VPs of sales to come in, throw live events, give advice, take questions. So we're trying to make it as interactive as possible, improve the support network. We brought on coaching. So people who have actually landed roles as sales development reps, now they're coaches on our platform. So in addition to learning online, you can get affordable one-on-one support from someone who was in your shoes probably just a couple months ago and is now currently working in the role. So it's like, who better to give you advice than that person? And it's affordable too. So you're not going to break the bank getting this one-on-one support and coaching. So like all in, let's say you spend $500 on the course, right? Let's say each 30-minute coaching session costs you $30 and you get 3 of them. That's $590 all in to start a new career. I mean,
that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So I know you said you offer a couple of other courses as well, digital marketing and IT support, I think you said it was?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what those roles, like, who are those for? Like, is that like, are those good alternatives for people who don't want to do tech sales? And like, I guess, like, why?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that switch between the two. So tech sales, you really have to be focused on like a results-oriented person. So good communication skills are the foundation of tech sales. If you can't speak good English or write with decent grammar, then tech sales is probably not the right career for you. So I always like to set that as the foundation. Now, when it comes to IT support, do you really need to be the best verbal communicator? Probably not. So if your communication skills aren't at the tech sales level, but maybe you like technology even more, you want to be more involved with it, IT support is probably a good starting path for you. And then that path leads to cybersecurity. That leads to systems admins. Everyone wonders, like, how do I break into a cybersecurity career? It's like, I can tell you, if you have 0 previous IT experience and you try to go for a cybersecurity job, you're not going to stand a chance. It's almost the same thing as trying to break into sales engineering without any experience. But now if you work in IT support for 6 months, combine additional cybersecurity training on top of that, now you have a reasonable chance of breaking into cybersecurity. So CourseCareers is like the entry point to all these really high-paying career paths, and it just branches out in every direction. But we start you off with the foundational career that opens up all of these opportunities.
So you have something for everyone.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
So what I've seen too with people who are like doing tech sales, and they kind of ask me the same thing, because like I work in a technical role. So I work for AWS as a solutions architect. And in that, there are people like, we have tech sales type roles as well. And I tell people, even if you get into a position like that, and maybe you have the goal of you want to go into a more technical thing, you have a better shot now being in the organization and learning from those sales engineers and learning from the solutions architects and actually getting to work hands-on, because a lot of these companies have, free trials or trials of their software. You're in there and you can actually take that and then transition even more over into a more technical role, paying, instantly, 6 figures as well, if you don't want to continue down that path. So I know, I just know that so we didn't speak on the digital marketing part though. Actually, I didn't want to speak on that. I know that's a new course I'm seeing, and we've been getting a little more people commenting on that too.
Yeah, we just made digital marketing live. So you can imagine every single business needs marketing, especially business to consumer. So like B2B is where sales thrives, right? When you're selling to other companies, solutions are complex, they're expensive, you need human interaction. But when you're selling to consumers, so think like Google Drive, Dropbox, these things, you don't really need a salesperson selling a $10 subscription to Google Drive to you, right? You probably need marketing. You need to see a video about it. You need to read about it. You need a friend to tell you about it. This is all where digital marketing really thrives, is this consumer marketing interaction. And that's what we teach in this course. So how do you run paid advertisements? How do you create content, create video? How do you develop like affiliates? So all of these different marketing tactics, how do you develop a marketing strategy and playbook for companies? How does this all fit together? That's what we teach in this course to help you land an entry-level digital marketing role where you're probably going to be a specialist, where you're just focused on one very specific thing. You get really good at it and you optimize it. Or you might be an entry-level generalist where they're kind of throwing you like a dartboard, right? They're like, hey, test this out. Let me know what you think. Test this out. So it's a really fun job. You're probably not going to make as much money in entry-level digital marketing as you will in tech sales. But if you're a very creative person, then digital marketing is where you're probably going to really thrive. I mean, my role started in sales. I've since transitioned almost solely into a marketer. And I mean, I love it. I come up with crazy ideas. I get to test them out. I have a ton of fun, and my creativity is really just exploding.
Wow. I might take that course. Is all the courses the same fee, or are they different? Or
so each course is $500. So theoretically, if you wanted to try out all the careers, it's only $1,500. So if you compare that to like college, like
like $40,000
digital marketing degree, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, the thing about digital marketing too, about marketing degrees in general, I read a statistic somewhere because I knew the numbers were bad. I just didn't know how bad. I was like, how many people who graduate with a marketing degree actually land a job in marketing? 1 in 5,000. Because what you learn in school is so much different than what employers want, where it's zero value, in many cases negative value, because they have to untrain you. They're like, that's not actually the way we do things. That's where it's like there's a huge gap in the market right now for digital marketing. Like employers, they need to hire all these people, but colleges do it. I mean, they don't even want to try to hire from college because they have to unteach you things. So they don't have anyone to hire from except people who have previous experience, who somehow learned online and started their career that way.
Yeah. So I heard digital marketing, heard tech sales, I heard IT support. Is there any other courses on the roadmap?
We're going to support every single career there is. Everything from every career in tech, every office career, think like finance, accounting, bookkeeping, every career in the trades, welding, plumbing, every career in the medical profession, everything.
So CourseCareers University.
Wow, CourseCareers University.
Yeah, it's going to be everywhere. We're even going to start buying college campuses too. Actually, that's on the roadmap pretty soon.
Oh wow,
that's crazy.
That's wild, Troy. Man, you're really helping a lot of people out. Seriously, like we're in a circle with a lot of students who graduated from your course. We're in connection with them, and we see how they're thriving, like Justin and Atia, and we got Joseph Smith and Tech Back Trade, and others who are just really thriving, and we see how their lives have really changed and transformed, and we're all really coming together in support of this and trying to help others out. So
so it's, especially like for just kind of take it even deeper than that, and for our community, there's been a lot of barriers in general for the Black community as well, as far as being able to enter into, these high paying roles where, there is a racial and gender gap. So, I'm seeing that this is a good opportunity for us and for people, in similar, situations to enter into a space where maybe they didn't have to have that degree, or maybe their background doesn't matter as much, but more so their grit and their personality and their communication. And it's really helping to close that gap. That's kind of one of the reasons why we even promote it even in our channel as well. Is
hey,
they like, you don't have to go and learn the code if you want to get technology or to work for a tech company. You have to learn how to do all this stuff that I did at one point. And there's other way to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, for so long, there's been so many barriers to starting a high-paying career, but companies are realizing now, like, hey, this online education thing, it's a real thing. We need to stop requiring degrees because all these people are getting all of this education, and we're not interviewing them because we're requiring a piece of paper that probably doesn't help us, like, on the job anyways. So companies across the board are really questioning if they're currently valuing a degree. They're really questioning if they should be. And a ton of companies have already dropped degree requirements just because there's a lot of really smart and motivated people that aren't going to college. Like, they're questioning, because right now, if you had to make the decision to go to college in 2023 and you go to CourseCareers website and see example after example of everyone starting these high-paying careers, and then you read articles about college graduates in all this debt can't land a job, you're probably going to really question, should I go through CourseCareers or should I go through college?
Yeah, I wish CourseCareers was around back before I went to college. Spent all my money, man. So no, man, it's definitely good. So actually, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, because we get this comment a lot too, and you spoke a little bit on it. So does CourseCareers give you a job?
So we don't guarantee a job, and we can't. And any company who does, like, I know there's other boot camps, I'm not going to name them specifically. There's a job guaranteed. I'm like, you should read the fine print. See what it takes to get your money back. So no one actually guarantees a job, and I can't force companies to hire our students. I can't say you have to hire this person or I'm going to sue you, company. You can't do that. But what we can do is set our students up for success, where companies do want to hire them. They are willing to drop all of their requirements to hire them. So it's like we try to give our students the biggest advantage possible, where it's as easy as possible to land positions. Like the janitor who interviewed with 12 companies and got 12 job offers. He even said, like, without CourseCareers, definitely wouldn't have been possible. Like, he got a job offer with Dun & Bradstreet, job offer with Clover's, a bunch of tech companies. And Dun & Bradstreet, he was interviewing for an entry-level position. They bumped him up for a more senior position. So just because he interviewed so well and knew so much.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And that's a lot of the partners, some of the partners that are on.
Yeah. So we've been working hard, and we sign up new partners every single week. Now, unfortunately, though, we do have more students than we do have available partner jobs.
Right.
So it is fairly competitive to get our partners to reach out to you. But if you do really well in the final exam, and final exam is only one part of the equation. If your work preferences align with what the company is looking for, if your background aligns with what the company is looking for, if the way you answer the verbal questions align with what the company would like to hear on a phone screen, then they're probably going to reach out to set up an interview, and you won't even have to apply to a company to get a job. So it works out for both sides. And right now we're like really doubling down on employers, trying to sign up as many as we possibly can. So more of our students can be getting these opportunities that are frankly like really good, because the company values your education so much. They're actually paying us to interview you. So they pay us for every student they interview. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's a pretty good signal. So if if everyone listening to this, if a partner company reaches out to you, they paid to do that. So they really want to hire you.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. So yeah, man, we talked about a lot of things here, man. Is there anything for our listeners that you want to close out with, and also tell them where they can find you and how they can hear more about what CourseCareers is doing?
Yeah, check out CourseCareers.com. We have free introduction courses, so you can actually learn about all of these different careers, what it is, what you'd be doing on a day-to-day basis, why you should do it, and how you can actually get your foot in the door with no experience or degree. That's all completely free on the website. These are free introduction courses. So that's what I recommend first. And then just take the leap. Figure out what you think is the right career for you. It's only $500. It's not going to, let's say you're in it a week. You decide it's not for you. You get all of your money back within 14 days. And let's say you go through the whole training, you maybe even do an internship with the company, you realize it's not for you. The internship paid the entire course back, and in the first week, you made money. You're not out any money. You just try a new career. So just keep trying out careers until you find the one that's right for you. And then once you're in the door, you are in. Like, there's that 21-year-old who's about to make 140,000 a year.
Wow.
So it's like all previous requirements go out the door. It's only about results. And that's especially true for sales.
I love it.
That's
I
good.
love
That's
it.
good.
Thank you so much for your time, Troy. It was really
thanks,
a pleasure talking with you, man.
Yes, yes. And for everyone who is interested in what he's talking about, we will have a link in the description that you can go and check it out.
All right. Take a chance on yourself. Thank you, Troy.
Thanks, Troy.
Thanks, Carissa. Have a nice one.
Bye. You too.